Hope you guys can hear us okay. I wanted to jump on live quick and sit down and have a quick chat with Zenus KC, who you guys have seen. I've been out with her protesting. We were protesting yesterday in Kansas City, Missouri. And hold on a second. I want to make sure I can see all your messages. There we go. Hey, Nita's Nook. Good afternoon. So we're jumping in, everybody, because I want you guys to have a chance to meet Allie. Some of you may have met her before when I had her on my channel with Fluffer Squirrel UK. And I'm in Kansas City. And of course, I wanted to meet as many of the people who've been live streaming and protesting Scientology out here as I could. And I've been getting to know her, and I wanted you guys to know how she got started. So first off, let's make sure you can all hear us okay. Mama Opal, let me know if you can hear me. And Allie.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can we hear Allie too? Hey, Rika. Laura, good to see you. Me and Taz, hello. We're going to chat a little bit with Allie, who is Zenus KC. We'll just speak loudly too. Okay. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you guys know how Allie got started protesting Scientology, and it's different, I think, than how other people have gotten started protesting Scientology. Hey, Want to Witness, good to see you there. Thank you for being here. Florence, hello. Hey, Margie. All right, we're going to try and, because we're outside, I'm going to try and speak as loud as possible here, but I wanted her to let you guys know how she got started. So, Allie, how did you get started? Like, what was your introduction to Scientology?
So in 2013, I read the book Going Clear.
A little louder.
I will try to project.
Yeah.
I'm not great at that. So in 2013, I read the book Going Clear, and then the Truth Rundown. I think that was Tampa Bay Times.
Yeah,
so
okay, hold on a second. They're having a hard time hearing you.
Do we need to switch?
Let's see. Switch.
Well, I'm thinking maybe the sound is coming better from your side.
From that side? Okay. Janet, can you hear me okay? Mama Opal, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me now? When you say can I hear her, are you talking about Allie? When Allie's speaking? Yes, I can hear you fine, Natalie. Okay, thanks. Okay, so I think she might be right. So let's see here.
Do you just want to sit here and we can just both be in frame?
Yeah, hold on a second. But I don't know. Hold on a second. But then why would that be different? Because it's still the same.
Yeah,
okay,
I have no
so
idea.
What about now?
I feel more comfortable with you being over here.
Okay, so I will be right here, and hopefully then you can hear both of us better. So, Allie, you read the book Going Clear, or you saw the documentary?
I read the book.
Okay.
First.
Yes.
And then the Truth Rundown from the Tampa Bay Times.
Yeah.
And then I saw the movie Going Clear.
Okay.
But it was the Leah Remini show, and then Aaron starting his channel that actually got me like really watching a lot of everything.
Sure.
So yeah, I subbed to Aaron's channel years ago, and then just kind of followed everything, and then but never thought like, oh, I'm gonna do anything with this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, just like the knowledge was interesting. It was interesting to me. It was sad, obviously. It was fascinating that because at the time I actually lived in Orlando, so I was a few hours from Clearwater. So like I drove over there one day and was like, what does it look like? So I drove around Flag, and and at that time it was still pretty open. Like people, like the Sea Org would still like walk around and stuff. But let me think. Okay, so then
then you decided at one point to go into the org.
So then Streets LA happened, and it was like, oh, those of us who have never been in Scientology could actually do something. And so I thought, okay, before one, I didn't want to go out protesting by myself because I didn't.
Yeah.
It's in downtown Kansas City. I didn't feel comfortable, being a woman, being out there by myself. So I didn't want to go do that. So then I was like, okay, but I can go meet them.
Yeah.
and talk to them and see what they're like and see who's in the org, how many people are in there and stuff like that. So yeah, I went inside. I walked in one day with a friend, actually. So I dragged a friend into the org.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, let's go talk to the Scientologist. And she was like, no, they're scary. And I was like, no, we can do this. So we went in.
Did your friend think that maybe you were trying to recruit her into Scientology?
Oh no. She knew better. But she was afraid. You hear some of the horror stories of them like following you and stuff like that. So she was like, I don't want to go in there. But I said, we won't give them our real information. I said, maybe our first names, because we won't like acknowledge them if they call us by fake names. But we won't give them any of our information. We won't write anything down. We walked in, talked to the receptionist, whose name is Niana. She's a Sea Org member. Grew up pack base.
Yeah.
And she asked us to write down our information, and I was like, no, I don't think so. But we'd like to take the tour. And so she called over a staff member and non-Sea Org staff member who was on, I think, a 2.5-year contract. And she took us around. She took us around to the org, collected some of the literature for us. I asked her a whole bunch of questions about like who's here and what was going on in there and how many people worked, and she explained the difference between the Sea Org people and the staff, and that Niana was a Sea Org but she was staff, and and then I emailed you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You emailed me that you had gone into the Oregon. I think most of my responses were, oh, that's great. Don't do anything illegal.
So I emailed you and I was like, do you think they'll have like conversations with me if I keep going back? And you were like, you might as well try. So I went back, and I ended up going back 7 times, 6 or 7 times.
And you had a genuine curiosity. And one of the reasons why I'd said that too was because you were genuinely curious.
Yeah.
And so it made sense. If you want to know and you want to maybe kind of understand it from the perspective of how Scientology is looking, doing it as a new person, then go ahead and try it. Just don't fall too deep. I think I remember saying that too. Just like, we need to do a buddy system.
Yeah. And the woman I talked the most to, she was over Division 6A, which is
it's like first contact.
Yeah, public facing. And she was the one I had the most interaction with. Her name's Desiree. Very sweet woman. Well, I say woman, I mean woman, but she and I were almost the same age. I think we had like a few months apart in our ages.
Wow.
And we just had really interesting conversations. We talked about she talked about her life a little bit, how she got into the Sea Org, how she got into Scientology, and then I'd go home and I'd read up on something, and then I'd come back and I'd ask her about it. I'd be like, hey, what about this or what about that? And we'd have conversations about different policies. And
how do you go from you're going in, you're having conversations about Scientology, exchanging ideas? It sounded like she was pretty open to communicating, to I'm now protesting Scientology.
So I actually told her, I think it was the last conversation I had with her, I actually told her about the protest. I said that there's a nationwide protest going on right now, actually worldwide protest going on right now. And and Mike, Auditing Scientology, had already started protesting outside the org.
That's right, yeah.
So she knew, and maybe even Casey Cat had been out there at least once. So she knew about them. And I said, well, it's actually, a lot of the orgs have the protesters right now. And I said, from what I've read and what I've watched and the people who've come out and told their stories and about the abuses, how I may end up going and protesting out there with them. And she was like, well, then we wouldn't be talking anymore. anymore. Like,
Yeah.
like we wouldn't be able to continue having conversations. And I said, well, you know, that's really sad, because I really like her. I mean, I really liked her. She's a very sweet person, and yeah, I really enjoyed our conversations. Like I really did. And she really, really believes it.
Yeah.
I mean, she believes that what she is doing is saving humanity. Like, genuinely. She didn't believe any of the, I don't know what she called, I can't remember what she called it, but any of the
black propaganda.
Yeah, the
black PR.
Yes, the black PR.
Yeah.
So anything that I brought to her, you know, I talked to her about different things that I'd heard from different videos and different articles I'd read, and any of it that I brought to her, she was just like, you know, that none of that's true, and they're just disgruntled, and what was the other thing she said?
They're just all disgruntled, bitter apostates.
Yeah,
That's
that. And
often kind of the thing.
oh, and if I said, you know, they would talk about how their wins, they were just kind of, you know, a lot of them would talk about how, like, just making them up, you know, like you just make up your wins, and that you know, Scientology wasn't actually helping. And she said, well, then they're not applying it correctly.
Yeah.
You know, like they're not applying it correctly.
So the only way that Scientology wouldn't work, she's saying, is if it wasn't applied correctly, which is a very, very strongly held Scientology belief that it works, that Scientology works 100% of the time when it is applied correctly.
Yeah.
So if it didn't work for you, if you did not get the result, if you cannot now have these superpowers, well, then you did something wrong.
Yeah.
Or you have crimes. That's kind of like the go-to.
That was another thing. Yeah, I mean, she brought up a couple of people, you know, that they, you know, buzz names that they know of ex-Scientologists. You know, Leah Remini is one of them. You know, like,
she brought that up.
Yeah. Oh, she brought up a couple of people that, you know, some of the higher profile that she knew were speaking out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Do you remember who?
I mean, Leah Remini was one of them. I'm almost positive Mike Rinder was another one.
I'm surprised that she brought that up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did.
Wow, interesting.
If I'm trying to think that. I mean,
was she trying to guess, like, well, where are you getting your information from? Are you getting it from this person, that person? Yeah. And then did she have an explanation for why they left Scientology?
Crimes. They're crimes.
They're crimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Did she give you specifics about, well, Leah Remini left Scientology? Well, what were her crimes?
I don't know if she gave me what they were. Mike Rinder's, I don't remember I don't remember. I'd have to.
But her answer was, oh, they left because they have crimes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not because there's anything questionably wrong with Scientology.
Yeah. She also said something to the effect of, like, that David Miscavige had to clean up stuff after.
David Miscavige had to clean house. That's right, because he had to get rid of all the people who might realize that there was a coup.
Yeah, she spoke very highly of Miscavige.
Really?
Yeah, yes. She was very enamored by him. She told me the story of how the first printing or whatever of Dianetics had the foreword in the middle of it or something, and how David Miscavige fixed it and all the typos, and, like, he, you know, the reprint was in the, I mean, she spoke very, very highly of him.
David Miscavige and David Miscavige alone figured this out.
Yeah. Yeah, he got rid of the squirrels and the squirrel tech and all
That's
of
right.
that.
Which, you know, by that logic, if he fixed it, being he was in charge, wouldn't he have been the one who did it? Because, I mean, they were redone a couple of times.
Yeah.
He's even gone on to Golden Age of Tech, his own Golden Age of Tech. So, yeah, that's interesting, though, that she would bring that up. Yeah. Because she knew you were never in Scientology.
No, but I was bringing her questions and material and stuff like that, and so I was asking her about different books, and I was asking her about different policies, and so I don't remember which conversation that got brought up in, but I remember her telling me the story of Dianetics having the forward
Yeah.
in the middle of it or something.
And that was the big, like, why David Miscavige is so incredible.
Yeah.
Because he fixed a mistake that happened on his watch.
Yeah.
That sounds on brand.
Yeah, it's been months, so my memory, of all the details of all the conversations is kind of, but
So,
yeah.
So did you think, I mean, this is not something you had imagined yourself doing. I mean, like,
gosh,
if
no.
it was like a year ago that you would be sitting here
Oh no.
protesting Scientology.
I am not a loud person. I am not a super, I am a coder who sits behind a computer for my work. So, like, I am, like, even this is just like, oh my gosh, I'm on a live. I think with Auditing Scientology, the first time we went out, I was like, please don't point your camera at me. Like, if you're gonna point it somewhere, point it elsewhere. I'd rather just not, be front and center. So I've gotten over that a little bit, but it's still just, me going live was really difficult.
Because you live stream. So remember, you guys, she live streams, so you can go to at Zenus KC, at XENEWS and see her live streaming on Thursdays with Auditing Scientology and Casey Cat.
Yes.
But that actually is a great story about how you got started, because you were almost like the what would the word be? Not accidental protester, just a reluctant.
Very reluctant.
The reluctant live streamer.
Yeah, I was very reluctant. I met with Casey Cat. She and I met one day and had a really long conversation, talked about everything, all the protests that were going on and all the different channels, and we had a really good conversation then. I emailed back and forth with Auditing Scientology quite a bit, just trying to figure out, like, okay, am I really gonna do this? I got, and I ended up having to come up with a handle, which, oh my goodness, that was a nightmare. I still don't know if I love it. So, and then, and at the time I was emailing about the Chicago opening. Yeah. So, so I was emailing about the Chicago opening, and a couple of weeks after that, I got an email from Shannon, and she's just like, just do it. Just get out there and do it. Yeah. And so right after L. Ron Hubbard's birthday weekend celebration thing, that was the last day I was in the org, because I actually got escorted out of the building.
You got escorted out of the building?
Yeah.
So what happened when you got escorted out of the building?
I was actually on a live stream too. So Auditing Scientology was live streaming, and who was the other one? Oh, Gypsy Mimi.
Oh yeah, Gypsy Mimi. Yeah, that's right.
She was live streaming that day too, and I had like a ticket to go to that event, but because I had brought up a whole bunch of stuff about going against Scientology, I got blacklisted.
You were uninvited from the Scientology event.
Yes. So I got escorted out and told I'm not welcome back. And when I left the building, I went over to talk to Auditing Scientology and Gypsy Mimi, and Auditing knew who I was because I'd been corresponding with him, and Casey Cat knew who I was because I'd met with her, and she was in the chat, so she was aware of who I was. Yeah. But Gypsy Mimi did not, and she did not trust me. Yeah, she thought I was a plant.
Yeah, because you came out of the org. Yeah.
And also I came out of the org and I spoke with them, but I wasn't going to stick around because my nerves were I was.
Yeah, you had just gotten kicked out.
Yeah, my adrenaline had skyrocketed, so I don't even remember the conversations I had with people. But I was walking away, and I passed by who we call Osa Matt. Yeah. Who's like we think it's their director of special affairs.
Yeah, I was bummed I didn't get to meet Osa Matt.
Yeah. Yeah. So I walked by him, and I just happened to ask him a question really quick, and he stopped and talked to me, which surprised me. Yeah. So we had a 30-second to a minute conversation, and that made Gypsy Mimi and her bodyguard just double down on the see she's so yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, no, you
never know, and it's unfortunately, it's sometimes, it's not unusual or common to think that, but I always feel about it that even if the person was a plant or OSA, it doesn't change how, I would be showing up or how I would communicate with them.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember about you going in was, just be yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't lie to any of them inside. I didn't give them my real information or anything, but I didn't I shared some of my backstory and how I grew up. I resonate really strongly with having a really deep belief system.
Yeah.
And I feel for them. I feel for the people in this org over here.
Yeah.
I just wish we could get them out. I just wish we could.
I think continuing to do with everything that people do, from doing what you're doing and live streaming and protesting Scientology, to people continuing to share their stories or amplify those voices, and people just showing up to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Doing those things is such great support in amplifying those voices, and we'll get there because we've never had the level of support in the ex-Scientology community as we do today, because of people like yourself, never in Scientology, but all in on ending the cult.
Yes, all in.
Yeah, so it's been great. I've been loving following you on YouTube and getting to know you, and there is going to be more to come. We're going to, I'm going to be doing...
This is funny. Allie's either a very poor plant or an extra
especially good one. Yeah. Allie is an excellent plant. But we are going to be doing another video coming up. You're going to see more of Allie, but you can find her. Just go to @Zenus KC and find her there, and subscribe. Before you all hit out of here, just hit that like button. So check your subscribe. We will talk again soon. I will hop on and do another live, maybe not today, but definitely tomorrow. So say goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, everybody, go have a fabulous cult-free night.